Hello everyone. Today we're going to tie a dry fly, and this is going to be a mayfly spinner. The way of tying this can be applied to any size, but the particular one we're going to tie today is the Ephemera danica, which is the largest of the mayflies that we have here in Northern Europe. It's a nice way of tying these, and the spinner stage is the stage in the life cycle of the mayflies where they have laid their eggs and they're actually just about to die. So it's an easy prey for the fish because they know that these mayflies will not evade them or will not fly away all of a sudden. So the fish takes these very slowly, and because they basically know that there's no risk of this, there's no risk of flight for the potential prey. So it's typical also something that happens during the evening. So you can have the evenings of the spinners, so to say. So we're gonna tie this now, an imitation of the biggest mayfly, the Danica, in the spinner stage. Here goes. So here goes. Now we're gonna tie the Danica spinner. This is a quite large spinner fly, but this is in my opinion the best way to do it because you get a fly that floats quite well, and just looks like the real thing. So we're gonna take a hook, and I'm gonna use the same hook as I used for my French partridge, the dun state of the mayfly, the Danica, and this is a size 8. You could go up to a size 6. This is the Chemco 5212, but the size 6 is quite a lot larger, and since we are struggling not to have too much material on this one because it won't look like the real thing if we have, then the 8 is the best bet. So the tail on this spinner here is quite long, and it's quite dark. It is actually black. So for the tail of this, I'm gonna take some black bucktail, and in order to have the right amount, I'm just gonna pull out the longest of these, and also if there is any damaged fibers, you get that. Often with any type of material actually, but I'm just gonna, so they are about the same length here. Ideally you want the real thing has only 3 tails, but this is not something that you should be too aware of. I have maybe 5 here. I think that's okay. I'm gonna do this longer than the actual hook, about 1.5 times as long. To give this, that's not too long compared to the real ones. I've seen them with even longer than that, the real insect. But that's to give it something to really rest on the hook here, and to keep this afloat. So I've tied these down. I'm gonna cut away this, and then I need one piece of, because it's quite dark, this mayfly in the spinner stage, I'm gonna add one strand of Fleshaboo in matte black. There we go. This is to segment the body and to give it the right look. Then I'm gonna take some Fly-Rite in the color 12, which is it's cream. That is the right color for the Ephemera danica. Just gonna apply this to the thread here. There we go. And then I will start build the body here, and we want the body here to be to gradually become thicker and thicker as we progress up the shank. So it needs to be not that dense, not that thick towards the tail, and then gradually becomes a bit more bulky and a bit more voluminous. I don't know how to say that. Voluminous, something along those lines. Correct me, because I'm probably wrong in pronouncing that. But yeah, I think you know what I'm talking about. There we go. Now we have the body, and I leave quite a lot of room for the last part of the fly here, and also because the wings are not supposed to come out just at where the eye is. And since this hook has a barb, then of course the first thing I'm gonna do when I put this fly on is debarb it. Then I'm gonna make the segments here with the rib. There we go. The last turn looks a bit uneven on your side, but it's perfectly aligned on my side, so I'm gonna go with this. There we go. And now we need probably the most crucial factor here, and that is to not overdo the wing. So I'm gonna take a bundle of a piece of polypropylene poly yarn, and that's too long, so it's easier to. And then carefully, I'm gonna use my dubbing needle to untangle this, to see if the amount I have here is about the right amount for this fly. And this actually looks good, because if you overdo this and have too much here of this, is probably a bit too much, so I'm gonna remove a little more. If you overdo this, then this will not look like the actual thing out on the water. And you should make this sparser than what you actually think it should be. So about here, which leaves about 3 millimeters to the actual eye, I'm gonna tie my wing down. I'm gonna do this by making the thread go in kind of like the figure 8. And this is difficult to show you before I have actually placed it. So I'm going to show you exactly how I'm going to do this once this is placed correctly. So you see I have placed this correctly, and then I tie behind the wings to get them to stand out. I hope that's clear. So if I tie behind them, I can kind of make a base of the tying thread, and I can shape where exactly I want the wing to emerge from the body. So there we have it. We have the wings coming out of each side. And then I'm going to move the tying thread back to where the body ended. I'm going to make a dubbing loop. And then I'm going to move my tying thread all the way back to the eye. I'm going to hang my dubbing loop off to the side. And now we need 2 CDC feathers. We need, because I want this to be a bit more bulky than if I just used 1. So I'm going to take 2 CDC feathers for this dubbing loop here. And this is basically because if I have 2 feathers, I will get the double amount. You can see this one I've used half of this. So I'm just going to lay this on top of another feather. Get them as aligned as possible. There we go. Then I'm going to take my Swiss CDC multi-tool here. I'm going to clamp down on all the CDC here. And then I can cut away. I'm just going to pull them a bit further out here. There we go. Then I'm cutting carefully along the CDC. Then if I want it a bit further out, I can just not use as much pressure and then just pull a little on the actual CDC fibers here. Push them out a bit. I see I got the tip of one of the feathers, so I'm just going to remove that. So now I have the CDC all lined up and ready to go. I take my dubbing loop. I place the CDC multi-clamp in here. Oh no. And then the thing that I didn't pay enough attention. I'm gonna do this again. It was a bit messed up from the beginning because the tip of one of the feathers were inside there. So I'm just gonna redo this quite fast here. Apply the multi-clip. Cut away. Yeah, this looks much better. Much easier to do. You need a bit of material to stick out of the clamp in order to be able to do this correctly. There we go. And then I'm gonna move this with my fingers. I'm gonna move this as close to the hook as possible. Sorry about that, my phone just rang. So I'm gonna move the CDC as close to this as possible. And then I'm gonna take the dubbing reel, spin the loop, and then turn this. And what this accomplishes is, just have to remove the wing here. Move the wing a bit forward. It can get a bit tangled with the CDC. What this accomplishes is you have this very, very nice dubbing loop from CDC. And then I basically just turn this towards the wings here. Then carefully in front of one of the wings, in front of the other wing. There we go. And then back to forward in front of the wings here. Folding everything back. This will give the fly a more bulky front part, but will also ensure that this fly is floating really, really, really a lot better than what it would do without these. So there we go. I'm gonna tie down the CDC loop here, just where the eye is, without catching any of the wing. Gonna cut away the dubbing loop here, all the way up to the base of the fly. Fold that back, make a small head, take my whip finish, make the whip finish here. I'm gonna cut away the tying thread, and then I'm gonna adjust the wing so it has the right length, because it's too long now. But the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my scissors, I'm gonna turn the fly upside down, and in order for this to rest the right way, I'm gonna cut away all the CDC that is underneath here. So it will rest the right way. There we go. I'm gonna take my needle, or in this case this is my whip finish, but that's not very important. Just something so you can pull out the wing, you can straighten out the wing, untangle the wing, so you have it aligned, and then you can basically cut it into position and into shape. It should be about the same length as the hook, the wing here. Of course, if you just pull it from below and just on top and cut it off, you'll get it exactly the same length. But then it won't have the right look. I like to cut it this way, because then I can get it a bit into the actual shape of the wing. It's a bit too long, this one here. I think that is almost even. There you go. And there you have it, seen from the top, seen from the fish view, the Danica Spinner. Thank you so much for watching. As always, remember to swing by my webshop. It's called Nordic Anglers. And if you haven't done nordicanglers.com, and if you haven't done so already, then it would mean a lot to me if you would subscribe to the channel. So thank you for watching, and well,